Alright. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, here with Edward Collins, and the Jackal. And today on NXT, we got some good news. Gorilla Monsoon said. It seems that we're going to have a new overseer of the TWF is going to be named here today. So let's go to it. Gorilla Monsoon said. Well, going into this, Edward Collins said, we don't know who it's going to be. As of right now, Astronema is the matchmaker and the main overseer of the TWF, but that's most likely going to shift. Alright, so here today, Astronema, today we're going to name the new matchmaker the new main overseer of the TWF, my 2diff, and the man that we felt we should do is I had a talk with the TWF upper leadership, and TWF upper leadership did happen to have a meeting. In that meeting, with the four-sitter and head leadership follower of the TWF, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, along with many other followers of the upper leadership team, as well as that meeting was that a new main overseer was to be named, and I am still the matchmaker of the TWF, but the one underneath me who will keep oversight in my behalf, work underneath me, is former WWE heavyweight fighter, two-time WWE 4-1 rights fighter, W Hall of Onlooker, former W Hall of Onlooker, Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter, who we always wanted to get in the TWF, but we couldn't get him back in the day, and here he is. Sergeant Slaughter, you are now the new main overseer of the TWF. Well, Astronema, I want to say thank you for naming me naming me as the new main overseer of the TWF, and I will not let you down. When Hunter Hearst Helmsley and you named me to this, they named me as the main overseer of the TWF, I was going to keep law and oversight, and that's what I will do. Well, Ecliptor says, good, Sergeant Slaughter, it's good to meet you, and we hope that you keep law and oversight here. Yeah, me too, Algar says. It's an honor to meet you, even though I don't really think you ever were in the fighting. You were ever in the land might. Algar! Anyway, Astronema says, look, Sergeant Slaughter, thank you for taking on the rank of main overseer to TWF. You're taking a workload off of me. I will still be the matchmaker. You'll still be the oversight upholder, or the main overseer to TWF. That's what I will do. When I was the oversight keeper in WWE from 9 between 92 YL to 9 between 93 YL, and then I was the matchmaker to TWE again from 9 between 97 YL to 9 between 98 YL. I worked underneath Jack Tunney when I was the oversight upholder in 9 between 92 YL. And when I was the matchmaker of WF in 9 between 97, and when I was the matchmaker, I worked underneath Gorilla Monsoon from 9 between 97 YL to 9 between 98 YL. Well, you didn't only work underneath Jack Tunney, you worked underneath Vince McMahon and Jack Tunney, and then Vince McMahon and Gorilla Monsoon. So, Astronema says, I hope that you do good in this rank. I will. Well, we just heard that Sergeant Slaughter is now the new main overseer of the TWF now, taking a workload off of Astronema, who had both ranks given to her, 2 years ago in 2021, YL. All right, I am the matchmaker of the TWF, or as you want to call me, a oversight upholder. And I'm going to keep law and order, set up in the toy wrestling game. I can't stand up, right? And I will keep law and upsight in the TWF. So if anyone has a bind, here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is that it seems that Wonder Woman, who is the Pennsylvania Right Fighter, and Wolverine, who's the Allegheny Earldom. First off, Allegheny Earldom fighter, they will be putting their winnings on stake. And if they do not, they will have their winnings taken off. But the match that we are going to see here today is, well, we can see how that's going to play out. Well, here comes Baron Corbin in the ring now. Hey, I know you're not truly a fighter. You were never in the Limelight. And as far as you being the matchmaker, you being the main overseer goes, you kind of suck already. I mean, geez, you kind of suck already at doing your work. You think that you're going to do what I couldn't do? Let me tell you something, Baron Corbin. I'm not you. I'm not going to throw my might around like you did. But since you're in the ring and you're here, you will be fighting a new hireling that we just brought to the TWF. He will be the Werewolf. The Werewolf? Have fun with the Werewolf, Lord Corbin. Well, it looks like Sergeant Slaughter has already made some oversights already. One about Wonder Woman and Wolverine putting their winnings on stake. And now Baron Corbin is now going to take on the Werewolf, Gorilla Monsoon says. Yes, that's right, Edward Collins says. You're going to see Baron Corbin fight the Werewolf here today on NXT. Oh, Sergeant Slaughter, whatever the English word for it is, he's already off to a bad start. He's already off to a bad start, the Jackal says. He's already got Baron Corbin fighting a werewolf. I mean, come on. And he's going to say that he's not like Baron Corbin? We saw Baron Corbin do all that. I never saw Baron Corbin do that at all, the Jackal says, when he was the main overseer of the TWF. Would you stop? I saw Baron Corbin do a lot of shit to a lot of folks, Gorilla Monsoon says. Don't forget what he did to the Hulk, or what he did to Buzz Lightyear, or what he did to other folks for his short time when he was the main overseer of the TWF. You know, he's going to think he thinks he's going to, so don't tell me I didn't see him do anything, Gorilla Monsoon said. Oh, the werewolf coming back right now, Gorilla Monsoon says. The werewolf with a body slam. And I think something fell down. Yeah, it's him. Most likely he fell down already. The werewolf with another body slam. Edward Collins, says Gorilla Monsoon. You know what Edward Collins says? I think that the werewolf is going to be a great wrestler. I think he'll be a great fighter. You would, because you're a bloodsucker for soul, the Jackal says. So you would think any unearthly being would make a great wrestler. The Jackal says, yeah, I am a bloodsucker with a soul, Edward Cullen says. Do you got a bind with that, the Jackal? Or Cyrus? Yeah, I do. I'm saying, since you're a bloodsucker for soul, you probably would think that any unearthly being would make a good wrestler. The Jackal says, all right, Gorilla Monsoon said, would you be earnest? Would you stop with all that fighting? And once again, you know, you keep this up, Jackal or Cyrus, you'll be yesteryear on this show. No, said Gorilla Monsoon, not as much as a werewolf's going to be. Here we go. The end of day. The end of days. The deep six. Baron Corbin is going to beat the werewolf here today. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin has beat the werewolf here today on NXT. And he probably thinks that he's probably going to tell folks how great it was that he beat the werewolf, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, I can tell you one thing, Edward Cullen says. The werewolf may have lost his match with Baron Corbin, but he's still a winner in my book, Edward Cullen says. Well, I don't know about that, Gorilla Monsoon and Edward Collins. At the end of the day, the Jackal says, I don't think you could say that the werewolf is a winner in your book, but he lost to Baron Corbin. But speaking of that, we're going to have, well, anyway, you believe whatever you want to believe, Jackal, Gorilla Monsoon says. But then again, would you stop with saying that things? Gorilla Monsoon, alright, Jim Ross, take it away. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be, my hat going on my eyes. I'm going to be talking with Baron Corbin here today on NXT. And first off, Baron Corbin, we just saw you beat the werewolf. Oh, you did, JR. I don't know, JR. Did you bring him to the TWF? I'm not the head of skill dealings here. That's Gil Kim. Oh, well, we all know, Jim Ross, that you were the head of skill dealings in WWE from between 96 YL to 2004 YL. You took over for James Day Dillon, and Johnny Ace took over for you. Do we need to go there? Yes, it was Pat Patterson, it was James Day Dillon, myself, Johnny Ace, Hunter Helmsley, Cal Corrado, Johnny Ace, and Hunter Helmsley again. Anyway, it was Gil Kim that brought him to the TWF. So you have a bone, take it out with her. First off, Jim Ross, yeah, when is a werewolf ever, or any unearthly being, ever be a wrestler or a fighter? I mean, when I came to the toy wrestling gathering, I knew I'd be wrestling toys. But I thought they would be man-like, woman-like toys. Not over-good doer toys. Not unearthly being toys. Shit. Well, Baron Corbin, the toy wrestling gathering is all about toys from all walks of life. From all backgrounds. So, if you don't like what kind of toys you're wrestling or fighting here, I don't know what to tell you. First off, you know what also, Sergeant Slaughter, whatever the English word for it is, he is not a true war good doer. He never worked in the fighting, he never worked in a land might. He has stolen boldness. And now he's now the main overseer of the TWF. And he likes to say, that's law, that's a setup, this and that. Well, he made me fight the werewolf, so I think he's off to a bad start, Jim Ross. Well, you believe whatever you want to believe, Baron Corbin, but I think Slaughter is off to a good start. Well, anyway, that's my talk with Baron Corbin. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Jim Ross, for talking with Baron Corbin here today on NXT. Shit. And it looks like it is all the time we got here for NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, Edward Collins, and the Jackal, we hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite or Might.